All right, guys, if you will go to your notes 5-7, we're going to do systems of equation applications. These notes are going to take us 2 days, so we're going to split it up into 2 lessons. And I'm going to do the odds. Nope, can't say the right word. I'm going to do the evens, and I'm going to have you go back and try the odds. So we're going to start. The first thing it says is to define your 2 variables. So we're going to be talking about x and y in every problem, and you're going to have to define them so I know what is what. Okay, so once you define them, you have to write the system of equations given this information, and then you have to solve them. You can solve with elimination, substitution, graphing. I'm going to use elimination and substitution more because real-world problems are set up for that way. And then you just have to give the answer saying exactly what they are. Okay, so for the whole first page, they're going to be set up in this style. The sum of 2 numbers is 24, and their difference is 2. What are the numbers? Well, since you don't know what either number is, we're going to call x the first number and y the second number. And that's how you're going to set up all 6 problems on the front. Okay, and then it says the sum of the numbers is 24. Anytime you see is, that means equals. So we're going to take x plus y and set it equal to 24 because they said sum means plus. Okay, and then it says their difference, which means minus, is 2. So x minus y equals 2. Okay, once you have the 2 equations set up like they said, you have to solve. Okay, this one is set up for elimination because I have x above x, y above y, equals above equals, and the constant number is above the constant number. So since everything is lined up in that form, you're looking for a number that has the same letter. So I have x's both have 1, so they're ready to go, but y's also both have 1, so it doesn't matter which one you change. Now, if you have 1 and you add to 1, that gives me 2. Remember, to do elimination, you need to cancel. So if I do 1 minus 1, that will work. 1 minus 1 will cancel. And then if you do 1 minus negative 1, that becomes 2y. And if you do 24 minus 2, that becomes 22. Then all you have to do is divide by the 2, and y equals 11. So I'm going to come up here where the second number is, and I'm going to put 11 because I now know that that number is 11. Then I take that and just plug it back into one of the original equations. So I'm going to do x plus 11 equals 24 because that's the top equation, and I plugged in y. To get x by itself, I just subtract 11, and I get x equals 13. And I'm going to bring this back over here and put my answer, and I'm going to circle that because that's my answer, or box it. Now to check it, you can easily just plug it in. X was 13, y was 11. If I add them, I should get 24. If I subtract them, I should get 2, which I do. Okay, moving to number 4, the sum of 2 numbers is 36. So twice the first number minus the second is 6. Okay, so the first thing we're talking about, we have x and we have y. X is the first number, y is the second number. Okay, the sum, that means we're adding, is 36. So we're going to do x plus y equals 36. Okay, twice the first number. Twice means we're multiplying by 2. So we're going to do 2 times x minus the second number, y, equals 6. Okay, so find the numbers. Again, this one is set up for elimination because x is above x, y is above y, equals, and the constant number is above the constant number. But this time my y's are the same. They both have a 1, where the x's do not. So if I have a positive 1 and a negative 1, if I take 1 and I add it to negative 1, I get 0. So therefore, I do want to add these. Now remember, this becomes a 1 also, so 1 plus 2 is 3x. 1 plus negative 1 cancels, and 36 plus 6 becomes 42. We then just divide by 3 to get x by itself, and 42 divided by 3 is 14. So x is 14, so I'm going to bring that up here and put it with my x. Now I'm going to just plug this back into the top equation, and I'm going to replace x. So we're going to do 14 plus y equals 36. I'm going to have to subtract the 14 to get y by itself, so y equals 22. Okay, I'm going to box that so I know it's my answer, and then I'm going to check my answers. If I do x plus y, 14 plus 22, I should get 36, which I did. And then I'm going to do 2 times 14, because 2x, minus 22 because of y, and I should get 6, which I did. For number 6, the sum of two numbers is 25. One number is twice the second number plus 7. What are the two numbers? Okay, so we're talking about x, we're talking about y. X is the first number, y is the second number. Okay, the sum of the two numbers is 25, so x plus y equals 25. One number is. Now, one number, remember, is means equals. So we're going to take one number, which is x, and we're going to put equals. And then twice the second, that means we have to do 2 times y plus 7. All right, so from here, this one's not set up for elimination. I have x above x, but I don't have equals above equals. So therefore, this one's set up for substitution. So I'm going to box what x equals since it's by itself, and I have to plug that into the x in the other equation because remember, x is the outside letter. So this becomes 2y plus 7, so I replace x with 2y plus 7, and then I keep plus y equals 25. Okay, combining like terms, I get 3y plus 7 equals 25. I'm going to subtract 7. That gives me 3y equals 18. I divide by 3, and y equals 6. Okay, now that I know that y is 6, I'm going to bring that up and put it with y. And then I'm going to take this y and plug it in right here. We're going to do 2 times 6 plus 7. Well, 2 times 6 is 12, and 12 plus 7 is 19. So this is 19. Now I'm going to check my equation with my answers with my two equations. So I'm going to do, well, x was 19 plus y was 6. I should get 25. And then since this is an x equals, we're not going to use x. We're going to only use y. We're going to do 2 times y is 6 plus 7. And I should get what x is. And x is 19, which I do, so that works. Okay, we're going to flip to the back now. Okay, we're going to go to number 8. The cost of 12 oranges and 7 apples is $5.36. 8 oranges and 5 apples cost $3.68. Find the cost of each. Okay, we are talking about two things. So my x, my y, I'm talking about oranges and apples. Okay, I have 12 oranges with 7 apples. So I put 12x plus 7y, and is means equals, and it's 536. Okay, then from here, I have 8 oranges and 5 apples, so 8x plus 5y, and it cost $3.68. Okay, so for this problem, I have x above x and y above y, equals above equals, and my constant number above my constant number. So what you want to do is elimination. Now, you could rotate this and multiply this one by 8 and this one by 12, or you could rotate and multiply the top by 5 and the bottom by 7. I would go with 5 and 7. They're smaller numbers. So I'm going to kind of show it in a different color. We're going to multiply this one by 5 and this one by 7. This gives me 60x plus 35y equals, and then you may need your calculator to do 5 times 536, which is 2680. 7 times 8 is 56x, 7 times 5 is 35y, and 7 times 368 is 2576. Okay, so now from here, my y's are the same. If I do 35 and I add it to 35, they do not give me 0, so I need to subtract. So we're going to do 60 minus 56, which gives me 4x. 35 minus 35 cancels the y's, and 2680 minus 2576 is $1.04. To get x by itself, we just divide by 4, and x equals 0.26. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here. And since it said find the cost, we know that X is 26 cents. So you see I put the dollar sign. So now to find Y, you just take this and plug it back into one of your original equations. Well, the bottom equation is smaller numbers, so I'm going to do 8 times 0.26 because I know that's what X is, plus 5Y equals 368. All right, here we go. 8 times 0.26. That gives me 208 plus 5Y equals 368. I'm going to subtract 208. I get 5Y equals 160. I divide by 5. And Y equals 32. So I'm going to bring the 32 back over here, put it with a dollar sign. And so an orange is 26 cents and an apple is 32 cents. Now I'm going to check this and see if it works by going back to my original equations. I'm going to do 12 open parentheses 0.26 because X is 0.26 plus 7 open parentheses 0.32, and I should get 536. I did, so now I check the other one. We're going to do 8 open up parentheses 0.26 plus 5 open up parentheses 0.32, and I should get 368, which I did. Therefore, my answers are correct. There's my answer. Okay, one more. We're going to do number 10. At a sale on winter clothing, Cody bought 2 pairs of gloves and 4 hats for $43. Tori bought 2 pairs of gloves and 2 hats for $30. Find the cost of each. Okay, well, we are talking about gloves and hats. So I'm going to put X and Y. Gloves, hats, if I can spell. Okay. We're going to go with Cody first. Cody bought 2 gloves, 4 hats. So 2X plus 4Y, and he got it for $43. All goes together. Now I look at Tori. Tori bought 2 gloves, but she only bought 2 hats, and it costs $30. Okay, this one is lined up for elimination because X is above X, Y is above Y, equals in my constant. Now my X's have the same number. So if I do 2 plus 2, that would give me 4. I need them to become 0, so we're going to do 2 minus 2. Well, 2 minus 2 cancels. 4 minus 2 becomes 2Y, and 43 minus 30 becomes 13. When I divide by 2, I get Y equals 650. So I'm going to come back over here to hats, and since I'm finding the cost, I'm going to put 650. Okay, well, now that I know the cost of a hat, I'm going to use the bottom equation, and we're going to do 2x plus, instead of 2y, we're going to do 2 times 650, and it's going to equal 30. So this becomes 2x plus, well, 2 times 650 is 13, and it equals 30. We're going to minus 13, and I get 2x equals, 17. When I divide by 2, I get x equals 8.5, or 850. So I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to put that it's $8.50. Now I'm going to do a quick check with the equations to check my answer. So we're going to do 2 times 850 plus 4 times 650, and I should get 43. And then we're going to do 2 times 850 plus 2 times 650, and I should get 30. Since both my answers worked, I know my answer is correct. Now what you are going to do is solve 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 today. If you have questions, make sure you're asking.